Get $6 out of you. 6.40, did you say? How much do you...
Well, probably when our people know that, you know, that we're watching these things, that just make our presence known, that what can happen, that we can go ahead and confiscate fireworks, stop them, give them a ticket, or, you know, anything that might help deter people bringing fireworks into the city limits and shooting them off and causing these fires on houses.
When Dorothy Nichols woke up this morning, turned on her faucet, and learned it was dry, she had only one alternative. As part of the Keystone Volunteer Fire Department, her job today was to monitor the radios closely with her husband, Ray. Luckily, the fire wasn't in Dorothy and Ray's area. If it was, the lack of water could have meant disaster. All day, Dorothy's neighbors have been concerned, calling and asking her the same thing.
Well, we're out of water. Do you know how long it's going to be off? And of course we don't. Nobody knows for certain.
And for the 500 families who are affected, it means a lot more than not being able to do laundry. It means maybe not being able to put out a fire. While they listen and wait, crews are busy patching up the line. This is the same line that broke during the recent floods. It was bad then, but this heat wave and dry conditions are making this situation even worse.
This is the one way I think the legislature can meet the most heard request to members of the legislature and to the governor, and that's to do more quicker for the highway situation in the state of Oklahoma. Another reason, I think it's a hedge against inflation. By moving now and appropriating these funds, we can get highway construction going that in just another year or two may well be up many millions of dollars and become unaffordable.
One opportunity to make it.
When the gentleman appeared at the council meeting, he did not have the rates correct. They did not have a schedule of the buses. He was completely uninformed about, you know, everything that went on in our study session that we were concerned with.
I wish there was a pickup on the east side of Norman, since I think that a lot of us live in that area.
I'd like to see the route changed because in order to get out here, I have to ride 3 miles on my bicycle.
To $1.25 for a one-way trip.
light goes out. Star through, two-lady chain, turn the girl when you're there. Star through, left down the pan, here you go, get her right.
Are you having a big 4th of July? Yeah. You enjoying the parade? Yeah. Good.
Đề tài thứ hai, chống đồng và văn hóa lạc Việt, do học giả Thái Văn Kiểm.
Lễ dâng hương trước bàn thờ Tổ.
Chúng ta không kể đến những cái chương trình dạy tiếng Việt.
We try first of all to encourage our people to do their best to adapt to the local societies, to understand the local people, and to get along with everybody, and to get well economically. Then we will see what will be the best way for us to preserve our culture, one way or another way.
Đã đúng là ngàn dặm xem mây nhớ quê. Chúng tôi xin đi vào đề tài.
Tìm mãi mới được một người gọi là nốc, nó có nhiều chi tiết về văn hóa Việt Nam. Cả hai cuốn sách này bây giờ cũng là sách hiếm rồi. Tiếp đó thì Đại học Yale bắt đầu dạy tiếng Việt trong khuôn khổ Đông Nam Á.
Most people have taken it pretty good and kind of with a sense of humor. Of course, they don't like it, and I do get phone calls all night long, but other than that, they were taking it better yesterday than they are today. Of course, it's another day and another day without water.
The point of water rationing.
There used to be as many as 50 unpaid sheriff deputies in Pottawatomie County, part of the sheriff's posse. But Attorney General Jan Eric Cartwright says sheriffs cannot have unpaid deputies.
This office does not enact law. All we do is interpret it and give advice. In this particular instance, the district attorney of Carter County sought this information, which we responded to. That it appears that by oversight they've created, the legislature and legislation has created another problem and eliminated the, shall we say, a permanent reserve force for deputy sheriffs.
If it keeps going the way it is, we keep letting us nibble our authority away and taking the rights of the people away that want to work free. It's going to get where a sheriff, it's going to make him look worse and worse and worse. And then the bureaucrat's going to take over and they'll send people in and pay them thousands of dollars to do the same job that we're doing for, and people are volunteering to do it for the people. In Oklahoma, there's 2,000 or 3,000 reserved. The Attorney General rules this sheriff has no authority to appoint non-salaried deputy sheriff. If I'd go ahead and just keep the posse intact, go on like I am, I could get sued and everything else.
Yeah, it's against the law.
As a result,
enough to greatly reduce any restrictions. When it got to saying
we've got a lot of good reasons why we don't have water out here, but what we really want to hear is what are we going to do to get water out here.
We as citizens and taxpayers are given a timetable to get something done. May I have a commitment of the city on a timetable when this can be done? A timetable, maybe it's a year or two, but a timetable.
Mini bathtub, one sink has increased just dramatically.
They're looping these additional lines in.
We had 20 pounds of water pressure
on that valve that was closed that would solve our problem.
Pressure behind it and to change its direction.
I had calls last night to that effect asking, what will they do? Some of them seem as if they will just panic. I won't, but some of them will.
Need some help, sir?
Yes, I need some $1.20 brass nuts.
Okay, they're right down here. A lot of customers keep coming in and asking, like, when are you going to move, where are you going to move to, things like that. And it's hard to tell them what's going on. You know, you got to explain, well, we're not even sure if it's coming through. It'll probably be another 5 years, 6 years before we'd really know anything.
Funds that hang on this project. We also feel like that the federal government is saying to us in these conditions that even though they may be borderline illegal or completely illegal, we want you to do them.
Yesterday, the state closed this office. It was helping to relocate the area's residents. Though the federal government is putting a lot of money into the project, the state still has to build it. And it says it can't if it has to break Oklahoma laws to do it. So until the federal government changes its mind, the Highway Department says it won't build the Central Expressway. Susie Webb, News Center 4.
Rescue 1, 1097. 10-4 Rescue 1, 1140.
Walk away when you're done. If I hadn't been incorporated, we wouldn't have done it. So it just took 2 days to get the supply built back up. Situation. And it was kind of confusing. We got our storage supply built back up now to a level that I think with all of our wells in service that we can allow the odd, even date watering for the lawns. People with odd number of houses water on odd days and even on even days.
Moore Police Department. The mayor declared an emergency proclamation, and we are to enforce that no one waters their lawns or washes their cars. As far as we know, it's just today. They're talking about tomorrow be back to mandatory water rationing.
Just took 2 days to get the supply built back up, and so I want to thank all the citizens for their cooperation in doing this, because they realize that we do have a problem, and us all working together, we can solve the problem, and hopefully we've got out of the critical point now.
Odd evening rationing does not signal an end to Moore's water problems, because the 100-degree weather is scheduled to be with us a few more days. But at least now, those thirsty lawns can be occasionally watered. Ed Stewart, News Center 4.
You can read it in the face of whatever the individual more likely feels on the inside by watching.
What's she like better?
Environment. If you had too much, the interest rate could be adjusted upward, and maybe you could sell the bonds at 10, 11, 12%. But then your lending rate, by virtue of to the borrower, might be 12 or 13%. Well, that's not a good deal.
The bottom line is that a low-interest home loan will save you a lot of money on your monthly payments. Say 1% on your home loan equals $40 a month. Then if you cut 3% off that, that's $120 a month you'll save on monthly payments. Quite a savings. Rick DeReyes, News Center 4.
That last summer and this winter were relatively mild, and people didn't see the way it would help them in averaging because their bills weren't all that high. Now this year this may change substantially, and we may see a lot more people interested in it because they may choose to average their bills as opposed to paying them as they came as they did before. We also have relaxed the rules somewhat for getting on it. And last year at this time you had to be completely paid up and you had to be in place for what, 12 months? Now then we've said that, you know, reasonable exceptions to that if you've been pretty responsible about paying, and if you've been on for several months, that will be adequate to get you in the plan. So we've relaxed the rules.
Here's where everything starts. The low income and the elderly would come to a community center like this and fill out all the necessary forms, hoping to get some relief against the long, hot summer. They can get some help, but the first thing to remember is to bring some type of income verification, something that shows how much you made last year. Without that information, nothing can be done. And that means those who qualify might miss out while the program is available. And they'll have to end up putting up with a long, hot summer, and they really shouldn't have to.
have some along here?
Yes, on the right here, Larry, we'll have some cars here right at the corner that you'll notice, and on the weekends this location will be, you know, there might be as many as 10 to 12 cars parked there for sale with a phone number on it. Now this could be a situation where it's just an individual selling their car, but in many cases it's these people who traffic in these cars, and these cars are never brought up into their name. And if you bought one of these,
You're returning on, let's see, 605 on the 16th, yeah. Close to Dallas.
Yeah.
Did you want smoking or non-smoking today?
The weather patterns and forecast are such that there's no relief in sight, and it looks like that we'll be on this Monday, Thursday for at least 30 days or more.
So the water situation in Moore is nothing to smile about. There are plans for another 2 million gallon storage tank like this one, but even if construction started this week, it wouldn't be ready in time for next summer's dry spell. Ted Brown, News Center 4.
Got it?
If you turn on the camera, hit the remote, okay?
Glad to see you. Here. Очень рад.
It did demonstrate to both peoples and to the world that two countries with greatly different political outlooks, political goals, can work together to achieve a common goal and something that's good for mankind. So it was a very vivid, about the most vivid demonstration you can ever find. So yes, it was worth it. Yes, we would hope it would bring about, you know, future and better relations. However, we said this mission by itself won't do that. It's a positive, it's a plus. On the other hand, you have to have political leadership that understands where the United States is in the world today and where the Soviet Union is. In spite of great political differences and political beliefs, there's a very strong friendship. You just can't, you know, train for 2 years with somebody and then go fly in space and meet with them up there and do all that and not have a lasting friendship the rest of your life.
Y'all come swimming here every day of the week, but you can't come Saturday and Sunday. Does it make you mad?
Yeah! And it's too bad because these swimming pools are all these kids have. And the senior pools are open, but you have to pay to get in. And this is free, so.
Doctors General is the only private hospital in town, and because it's private, it doesn't have to operate the way non-profit hospitals do. For example, Doctors General has one emergency room, and it is not staffed. The doctors are all on call. So if someone is hurt and needs an ambulance, the hospital says do not bring those patients here.
We do a careful screening because we also watch our bad debts. And the bad debt factor in this hospital runs about 5% of our total revenue that is generated from patient care.
I think primarily it was a matter of communication. If they'd had the opportunity to sit down together earlier and talk about the problems that seemed to be apparent to both sides, I think it could have been resolved. And essentially, that's what happened today.
Now, how do you feel? You walk to your front door in the morning and face something like that facing you over there, you know?
I feel good about it because I'm ready to move. They charging too much rent up here and the ceiling is falling in, the sinks and things are stopped up, but they still expect for you to pay their money on the first of the month. I move. And she's been trying to get me out here for the last 4 months.
Nothing's being fixed?
No, she said it didn't make sense for her to fix nothing if the highway was coming through. All in was puffed out. It rained so much in there.
To stay firm, and the corn, the drought area has extended into the corn belt and the bean belt, and of course this has affected wheat. The feed grains here suffering from drought has affected the wheat prices. Well, the loan rate on wheat will be from $2.50 up to $3. This will encourage more wheat producers to put their wheat in the loan. Thereby, this should affect the price by a rise in the price that you insulate, if you insulate so much from the market.
The Constitution of the State of Oklahoma, Article 2, Section 5, provides that no public money or property shall ever be appropriated, applied, donated, or used directly or indirectly for the use, benefit, or support of any sect, church, denomination, or system of religion. I think that's quite clear.
You interpret that to mean there should be no prayer of any type in any school?
That's correct.
Does this mean that there should be no prayer before a football game, a baccalaureate service?
I agree with that. I believe that, yes.
The end of that, right in the street curves.
I've got some friends.
And we were told when the Supreme Court handed down its decision in '67, I believe it was, that we certainly could not prescribe any kind of prayer or Bible reading or anything like that. The school board or administration could, this we must stay out of. And so therefore the student council in each school opens the day, if they wish, and in the majority of our schools they do this, with an inspirational or devotional or thought for the day.